Hi, I'm Daniel Willis. I am one of the finalists in the Cal Awards for the short fiction category. I'll be reading today from my novella, Farhi and the Crystal Dome. Farhi is a high school freshman living in very rural Ohio. While his school is predominantly white Protestant kids, he is of Iranian descent and Muslim. On top of this, he's also gay, but he keeps that part to himself, although some of his tormentors have suspected it. Fari's special gift is he has a beautiful singing voice, and it is for this reason that he will be recruited and sent to a fantasy world of fairies and gnomes, because they have a need for that voice. Also in this world are witches, evil creatures, oh, and some elves. One elf in particular will catch Fari's attention. The part I'm going to read today gives you a little bit of a taste of the type of life that Fari is living in his mundane Ohio small area. His small area that doesn't even quite constitute a town. Very similar to the area where I grew up in eastern Ohio. At this point in the story, Farhi has encountered a youth, or what he thinks is a youth, but through a window, and he's a strangely dressed youth, and he's in a place where he should not be and should not be able to get to, and it has him all confused. To add to the already strange day, dinner took an unexpected turn. Armin Artavan looked at his son with distress in his eyes. Farhi tried to ignore the sideways glances between Dad and Mama. Finally, Armin broke the silence. I had a meeting with Mr. Jenkins today. Oh no. There is nothing good that could come from a sentence that started that way. He tells me he's concerned about you. He believes you're being bullied by the other boys because you're Iranian. Is this true? We're different. They notice, was all Farhi would give. But Farad, why have you not told us about this? Mama finally blurted out. Maybe there was something we could have done. She was the only person who called him by his proper name. A mother's right, he supposed. Mama, what did you expect? He yelled as he slammed down his fork. We live in an all-white town. Not even a town. Just a chunk of farmland with a couple of stores and a bank in the middle of it. There are no dark-skinned kids in my grade, and there's only one other family in the whole school district that I know of, and even they are Christians. Farhi could not remember ever lashing out like that at his parents before. It actually felt kind of good, at least until he felt his father's slap, which sent him flying from his chair onto the dining room floor. Armin did not like disciplining his only child. Truth be told, Farhi rarely gave him reason to. However, tonight he had crossed a line. Apologize to your mother. You don't speak to her like that. Armin, please, Mama cautioned. I'm sorry, I was being disrespectful, but I didn't say anything that isn't true. Farhi climbed back onto his chair, keeping his father's hands in sight the whole time. I'm sorry too, Farhi, his father said. This is upsetting to all of us. You are right. We are different in this community. That is what Mr. Jenkins wanted to talk to me about. He feels you might be happier going to Boardman High. It's closer to the city and has a more multicultural student body. There's even a sizable number of Muslims who go to school there. Honey, we're concerned about you, Mama chimed in. You never talk about any friend at school, and I've never seen you going anywhere with friends. That much loneliness at your age is just not healthy. Funny, I actually like being alone more than I do with other kids. Do you think that might be because they treat you like you're an outsider, Dad asked. Maybe, but I'm not always alone. There are a few kids from choir I hang with, and during lunch or talk to when we're taking a break between songs. Do you talk to them on the phone? Email them, Mama asked. Not really. When I'm home, I try not to think about school, other than getting my homework done. That's not normal, Farhi, Dad responded. At your age, school should be the center of your universe. It should be the mecca of your social life, not a place where you have to hide in the janitor's closet. Oh, great. Jenkins told him about that. He almost piped up with the wardrobe malfunction story again, but his stinging cheek caused him to think better of it. Now it was Mama's turn to put the icing on the cake. Boardman High has a world-class choir program. They even performed at a presidential inauguration once. This finally got his attention. Really? Which one? He asked. One of Mr. Reagan's, I believe, she answered proudly. Mama was the chairwoman of the Township Republican Party. She spoke St. Ronnie's name with the same tone she might use for one of Muhammad's daughters. That was a long time ago, Mama. I wasn't even born yet. Well, yes, but they're only every 4 years, so there haven't been that many since then. But won't you have to pay tuition for me to go to a school out of district? He was almost warming up to the idea, but he didn't want to be a burden to them. Mr. Jenkins has come up with a way to get around that, Dad said. Sounds like he's the one who's most eager to see the back of me. He just wants you to succeed and is afraid it won't happen at Southmore. All you have to do is sign up for a class at Southmore all you have to do is sign up for a class that Southmore doesn't offer, and then they can approve the transfer tuition free. He suggested something academic but still an elective, like German. Since Southmore only offers French and Latin, that would qualify. When are we looking to do this? It's the middle of a semester. Well, Boardman High doesn't start until the 10th grade anyway, so we thought you could finish this year at Southmore and then start at Boardman in the fall. Obviously, Mama had been well briefed on the details. In fact, it was starting to sound like a done deal. This way, the other kids in your class will be sort of starting in a new school too, or at least in a new set of teachers, and in a new building. Maybe you can bond with some of them over your common new situation. In that case, I have a little time to think about it. Give me a day or two. Farhi wasn't sure why he didn't jump at the chance. As much grief as the other kids gave him at Southmore, it was the only school he had known. Going to Bournemouth meant meeting and trying to fit in with a whole school of strangers. Should he stick with the evil he knew? For more information about what becomes of Farhi, you can find my book at any retailer or on my website, danielawillis.com. Also, I have several other books that I've published that are available there, and you can also check them out at my publisher's website, dxvaros.com, DXVAROS. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you at the award ceremony. Although it's going to be virtual, so I guess I'll be seeing you on Zoom.